Hello, good morning viewers. In this tutorial, we are going to provide a solution to this trigonometric equation. We are given that cos 2x is equal to 7 cos x plus 3. We want to find an angle x that will satisfy this equation, but we are also given a domain for the value of x from 0 degrees to 360 degrees. So now let us get started. From the left hand side, you can see we have cos 2x, which is a double angle. So let us go ahead and expand it. It can be written as cos squared x minus sine squared x, and to the right we have 7 cos x plus 3. From left hand side to right hand side we have cosine and sines. So we want to write everything in terms of cos. But remember this identity, sine squared x plus cos squared x is equal to 1. We can write sine x in terms of cos x. Therefore, sine squared x will be equal to 1 minus cos squared x. So instead of sine squared x here, we can now write it as 1 minus cos squared x. Therefore, we have cos squared x minus, in the bracket we have 1 minus cos squared x. To the right we still have 7 multiplied by cos x, then plus 3. Let us distribute this minus sign over these two terms. We have cos squared x minus 1. Minus will affect the other minus. It becomes positive cos squared x. To the right we have 7 cos x plus 3. We have cos squared x here, and we have also another one here, making 2 of them. Therefore, we have 2 cos squared x minus 1, and to the right we have 7 cos x plus 3. Now let us bring everything to the left. To the left we have 2 cos squared x, but we have another 7 cos x here. If it crosses over, it becomes negative 7 cos x. We still have minus 1 to the left. To the right we have positive 3. Once it crosses over, it becomes negative. To the right we have nothing except 0. Let us further simplify this. We have 2 cos squared x minus 7 cos x, then minus 4. This is equal to 0. Now let us do a kind of substitution here. Let y equal to cos x. Let's go ahead and substitute it in the equation. We have 2 cos squared x, but remember y is equal to cos x, therefore we have to square y. We have 2y squared minus 7y minus 4, and this is equal to 0. This is a quadratic equation. We can solve it by factorization. Our two parentheses. Everything is in terms of y. Now we are going to take the leading coefficient 2 and multiply it by the constant negative 4, and that will give us negative 8. And the middle coefficient is negative 7. So we're going to think of two numbers, which when we multiply them together, we get negative 8. And when added up together, we get negative 7. The numbers are negative 8 and positive 1, because if you multiply them together, you get negative 8. And when added up together, you get negative 7. So we have negative 8 here. We have positive 1 here. But because of the leading coefficient 2, we are going to divide each by 2 by 2. So let us set these factors to be equal to 0. We can see that y minus 4, because 8 divided by 2 is 4, is equal to 0. This implies that y is equal to positive 4, and to the other one, y plus 1 over 2 equal to 0. This implies that y is equal to negative 1 over 2. But remember, we substituted y to be equal to cos x, so we are going to do a kind of back substitution. So y is equal to cos x, remember. So now let us start with the first one. When y is equal to 4, y equal to 4 is not a solution. Remember that cos x is within the domain negative 1 to positive 1, and 4 is greater than 1. So this is not a solution. We are going to test the other one. When y is equal to negative 1 over 2. All right, the best way to find this is by using unicycle, because if you use your calculator will only give you one value. So let's go ahead and do that. Therefore, we say cos x is equal to negative 1. Now we want to find that angle x, which when you take the cosine of that angle, it gives us negative 1 over 2. So now let us go ahead and find it on the unicycle. Let me draw a cycle. This is y plane and this is x plane. Remember that cosine depends on the coordinate of x-axis, while sine depends on the coordinate of y-axis. So the best way to start is to consider this value as positive. If it is positive, cosine x is either in the first quadrant or in the fourth quadrant. And cos of 60 degrees is equal to 1 over 2 in the first quadrant. So if this is 60 degrees, this is 1 over 2 positive. That is the value of cos 60 degrees. We expect solutions here. The reflection here, this other one, and lastly this one. Do not use your calculator, because calculator will give you only one value. But coming onto the unicycle, you find the required solutions. So what we need to consider here is at what quadrant cosine is said to be negative, because the value we have here is negative. We know that in the second quadrant and the third quadrant, cosine is negative. So if this is 60 degrees, this angle right here will be 60 as well. This angle also will be 60 degrees. So now let us go ahead and find these angles. You know, angle on a straight line is 180 degrees. But we have this angle to be equal to 60 degrees. So to find the first angle, we are going to subtract this 60 degrees from 180. Therefore, x in the second quadrant is equal to 180 degrees minus 60 degrees, which is equal to 120 degrees. We just obtained the first solution. Now let us take the other one, which is in the third quadrant. You have already seen that this is 180 degrees, but we have 60 extra. This means that we are going to add 60 degrees onto 180 degrees. So the value of x in the third quadrant will be 180 degrees plus 60 degrees, which is equal to 240 degrees. This is our second value. Therefore, these two values can satisfy that original equation. X could either be 120 degrees or 240 degrees. And this is said to be our required solution. Thank you for watching. Do have a nice day.